Ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to solve for what we call systems of linear equations, in this case with two variables, all right? So this is a linear equation, this is a second linear equation, and then we have so that's what altogether we call it a system of linear equations, and then two variables is that we're dealing with x and y. That's it, no more than that. Now, we can solve for these kind of problems by using three different methods here. One is by substitution, the other one is going to be what we call the addition or elimination method, and then the third one is going to be by graphing, okay? So we see all three different kinds. Now, so what's going to happen is then, let's go with the substitution method. So for the substitution method, a lot of times what you're trying to do is to look inside the problem, the two equations, and see, look, which one is the weakest one that I can use, the easiest one to use, basically. In this case, it's going to be the first one, so we're going to call this one equation 1, okay, and then equation 2. So why do we call the first one the weakest one, the easiest one to use? Because that's the one where the variable x, for example, doesn't have a number in front of it. But in cases where there is all of them carry a number in front of them, there's nothing you can do about it, all right? So let's go at it and then see. So we have x plus 3y equals to negative 3. So we're going to take that equation out. So equation 1, we take it out, x plus 3y equals to negative 3. All right? So what are we going to do with it? So because we have x here, so I'm going to move our equation on this side so we can have enough space there. But in any case, so I'm going to have a negative 3y, both sides so that I can cross it out. So I have x equals to negative 3y minus 3. All right? We cannot, ladies and gentlemen, combine these two, add or subtract, okay? They are two different terms. Go back to our previous videos when we dealt with solving, simplifying like terms problems. All right? So now this is what we have. So after we get the x here, so we can call this one equation 3 if you want to. All right, so let's do that. So we call this one equation 3. Okay, so we're going to take equation 3 now and substitute in equation 2. So here is equation 2, which is 4x. So what can we do? So we're going to plug that in there. So instead of having 4x, we're going to have 4 times negative 3y minus 3 plus 3y equals to 6. We good so far? Now we're going to remove parentheses. All right, so that will give us what? Negative 12y. All right, and then negative 12 plus 3y equals to 6. So far, so good? So this is what we have beautifully done. And then we can combine like terms, okay? So combining like terms means that we can combine these two together. So negative 12y plus 3y will give us what? Negative 9y. Then minus 12 equals to 6, okay? Then after that, we can solve for y by itself. So you see what's happening here? Because when we say substitute, solving for this system of equation, we're solving for x and y. Those are the two variables that we're solving for, okay? And we're looking for the value of those two. So now what's going to happen is what? So once we get to this part, here we are. So we have negative 9y minus 12 equal to 6. So we have 12 and 12. Both sides positive. Then you end up with negative y equals to 18. And then to solve for y, we got to divide both sides by what? Negative 9. And then we end up with negative 2. And that's the value that we're looking for y. So, but we still got to find the value for x because both of them are the one that we're looking for. Now, how do we do that to get for the y? We can go back to equation 3 because remember, so now we're looking for x, we get y already. So from equation 3, we stated that x equals to something in terms of y. So now we know the y value, so why not using this again? All right? So we go back and then we say x equals to negative 3 times negative 2 because now y value is negative 2. And then that will give us what? Minus 3. So x equals to what? Positive 6. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And 6 minus 3, then we end up with positive 3. So x equals to 3, y equals to negative 2. So our solution is positive 3, negative 2. So we put those two in order like this. This is a point, actually. This is a point, like most of the time we have a point which is xy, okay? That's just the same thing that we're doing here. So in this case, this is how we solve for a system of linear equations by substitution. And again, why we say substitution is because after we solve for the first equation, and then we have x in terms of y, so we take that and then we substitute it into equation 2. And that's why we call it substitution method. Everybody good now? All right? You're becoming an expert very soon.